What is up, Tigers? Welcome back to this week's episode of the Tiger Sports Report podcast. I'm your host, Jane Stewart, joined alongside my co-host, Noah Manis. How are you doing today, Noah?
I'm doing good. Jayden, how are you?
I'm doing good. We're also joined alongside Hayden and Carson for the NFL segment. How are you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing fine.
That's good. Recently, Bryce Young, he was benched, and everyone was like, he's the problem.
It's deserved.
I mean, the Panthers are the problem. That's what everyone was saying. Well, this week they played against the Raiders, a very good defense with Andy Dalton. He lit them up.
God, I love Andy Dalton.
He did.
Yeah.
I love Red Rifle.
Hayden, we're going to start with you. Just what are your thoughts about this whole situation? And, do you think his career's over with in Carolina?
I think his career isn't over with, no, but I think they'll bench him for the rest of the year, if I'm being honest, unless Andy Dalton gets hurt. Obviously, Andy Dalton's not a bad quarterback. He's never been all the way up here at S-tier quarterback, but he's always been serviceable. That's why he's hopped around the league for so long. But I think with this performance, and I think if Andy Dalton continues to play half decently, he'll have the starting job for the rest of the season.
See, dude, Andy Dalton is a great quarterback. Not a great quarterback. He's good enough.
Great. We'll stick with great on that one.
To bring in Bryce Young as a rookie quarterback last year and start him the whole season with that horrible Panthers offense, you're not giving him much. I think it's hard to bring in a brand new quarterback to a horrible offense and expect him to thrive. And Andy Dalton's been in the league for however many years, 14, whatever years, however many years he's been in the league. So he has the knowledge and he has the skill set of a good top-tier veteran quarterback. So it's going to be pretty easy for him to, go out there and play like a good quarterback when Panthers fans are seeing Bryce Young play probably the worst quarterback they've ever seen in their lives. So when Andy Dalton goes out there, he looks like Jesus and lights up their defense for no absolute reason. So I think they just need to let Bryce Young develop a little bit under Andy Dalton and just take it from there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Carson on that one. I need Bryce Young. I think I would assume his career is over in Carolina. I don't think they should give him another shot. I think they should move him on to a team like Miami where it's a better system.
Yeah, and we saw how bad they played. They need a quarterback.
Yeah, they need a quarterback. And it seems like Carolina doesn't want them to move on from Bryce Young, but Bryce Young wants to move on from Carolina.
I think Bryce Young is done in Carolina, but not done.
No. He's still young. I think I think he could get the Justin Fields treatment and try and go on to a new team and play good like Miami. Miami would be the perfect place for him to go. And just to say about Andy Dalton here is he's the only quarterback this season with 300 yards and 3 touchdowns on a Carolina offense.
Wild.
And to me, that's just saying something. I mean, I've never hated Andy Dalton. I've never disliked him, and I've always thought he was a really good quarterback. I love Carrot Top, and I don't know. You just can't hate on the guy because he's never been bad. Just like what Hayden was saying, he's a serviceable quarterback, and I think he needs to start the rest of the season. And I think Bryce Young needs to take some pointers from Andy Dalton and learn how to play like a veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Bryce Young, his confidence is pretty much shot at this point.
Yeah.
His career, I mean, he's just done in Carolina. I don't think there's any going back after this point because that owner's terrible. Doesn't seem like he believes in him at all.
Which is why I don't see why they wouldn't trade him. If they don't believe in him, they don't see anything with him, he's not going to be a good backup for Andy Dalton. Just move on.
And I think, with a guy like Bryce Young, it's he's still super young. You're still going to get a lot of trade value out of him. He's still valuable to the league. Obviously not to them, but to the league, he can be a valuable quarterback if you give him any weapon.
I wouldn't know about trade value though. I say
it'd be a third rounder.
Yeah, he would. Then no one would cough up a first or second for Bryce Young.
No,
obviously not. You have
trade
to be
value,
You have to be a star, but a third round pick is serviceable. And if you throw a player in there, you're gonna get Bryce.
But
Young.
what they paid for Bryce Young, a third round pick, no.
Well, obviously not tradable for Carolina. Any other team that wants Bryce Young is gonna have a good trade out of him. He's worth. In the long run, he's worth more than a third round pick.
I agree with that. Yeah,
you can turn him into a star quarterback if you train him right,
Give him the right
develop
pieces,
him right.
like Miami would do.
Yeah, Mitchell Trubisky gets a second chance. I definitely think Bryce Young should get a second chance. Yeah, that's all the NFL news we have for you this week. Now over to the fantasy football segment.
For families who like to build their wealth while staying liquid, we have flexible rate CDs to keep your funds working hard, even when you're not. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
What's up, Tigers? Welcome back to the second segment of the Tiger Sports Report podcast. We are joined alongside Eli and Hayden, talking about some fantasy football. And Noah, we're going to start with you with waiver wire pickups. Who do you think is a good waiver wire pickup for people?
I think as the Jets move on, I think Allen Lazard is a good pickup. He's the receiver 2 there. Garner Wilson really hasn't been getting the, I would say, looks from Aaron Rodgers that much. As much as Aaron Rodgers wants to say that he's going to give Garrett Wilson the ball, it hasn't really been there. And it kind of was there for the Falcons game. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was looking for him on the touchdowns, which was fair enough for the Garrett Wilson, let's say, fantasy team pickup. I don't know. Users. Let's say users.
Right.
And that's including me as well, and I've been looking for that. But I think Allen Lazard, he's a really good pickup for this week.
Yeah, I think Lazard too. And as much as I dislike Rodgers, he got like 21 points last week. So if you need a quarterback, because Herbert's been hurt, Love is hurt, there's quite a bit of quarterbacks that are hurt. So if you just need a backup or possibly a starter, Rodgers might not be too bad. And then Lazard's a pretty good flex option or backup.
Also, I would let me just say something real quick. If you haven't picked up Justin Fields, I would
Yeah.
try and pick him
he's
up.
playing pretty
I would
good.
pick him up. I have him on my bench now. Just saw how he played, and I would say pick him up. He got 21 points in my league.
Right, he's got a lot of upside.
Yeah.
My waiver wire guy is going to be Quinn Johnston. I feel like that deep ball threat has always worked with Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Josh Palmer. I think Quinn Johnston could be the next guy like that, catch a lot of touchdowns. He has 3 on the season already, so that's my waiver wire pickup.
I like that. He's gone back-to-back games getting touchdowns, but my waiver wire pickup has to be Jawan Jennings. Put up 3 touchdowns, 11 catches, and 175 yards, I think. He went off. I picked him up last week. Set him on my bench. Played DJ Moore. We won't get into that. But I have Jawan Jennings on my bench. I think he's definitely worth the roster spot. If you have, like, the open spot because you have a player that's not performing, someone like a rookie that's not doing well, or just, like, someone that's hurt. Or, like, Christian Kirk, honestly. Christian
Right.
Kirk has not been doing too hot at all. But
Yeah.
Jawan Jennings. But speaking of Jawan Jennings, Brandon Ayuk, how do we feel about him?
He got paid this offseason. He was being a big crybaby diva all offseason. Didn't know what was going to happen. He finally got paid, and he's been horrible.
Yeah.
He has been horrible, to say the
Absolutely.
least.
As I like to say, bunny buns for Brandon Ayuk there.
There's a problem in the NFL that people need to address, and you can see it with the wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Brandon Ayuk, all held out this season for a bigger contract. All have very well underperformed, and
CeeDee Lamb holding up.
Yeah, they've had
holding up
multiple
there.
issues.
Yeah, so it's not the right idea for the team or the receiver, and it hurts fans and the team as well.
Yeah. I would say Brandon Ayuk getting paid and then obviously not performing like that. Like, what's his highest game? I think he had
I think 60 or 50 yards.
like 60 and 50 yards on
terrible.
like 2 catches or something like that. He's
Yeah.
done absolutely nothing all season so far. Even with Debo
Debo
and
getting
Kittle
hurt,
were
yeah.
out,
Yeah.
and he still got outperformed by the wide receiver 3 and Jawan Jennings, who's getting paid.
Jawan Jeans is being out, someone making like $20 million a year.
Exactly.
Actually,
Jawan Jennings
wild.
got paid like
I-
3 years, $15 million.
Yeah.
I honestly think Brandon Ayuk should have never gotten that type of contract anyway.
Me either.
He's only had like one good season.
Yeah,
No,
one
it was
season
last season.
wonder,
And
basically.
he
He's shown
should've-
the talent, but like he's on a stacked offense where
Yeah, I
there's
just-
obviously
Yeah.
he's going to be open.
I don't know. I just think he should have never gotten that type of contract. He shouldn't be up there in the numbers of CeeDee Lamb and Tyreek Hill. Never should have been up there. He ever since he got with that contract, he's playing like prime Kadarius Toney in the Chiefs, and it's just disappointing. As not me as a 49ers fan, but as 49ers fans, it's disappointing to see supposedly your wide receiver 1 getting outperformed by Jawan Jennings, who barely even touched the ball this season until last game and the season before that. But Jayden, do you have anything else to say about Brandon Ayuk?
No, I really don't know how they feel about him. I mean, I know Purdy must be pretty upset, and
I mean, give Purdy that type of contract. I mean,
my thing with the offense of the 49ers is every week there's a new superstar. And I don't know if it's the players or if it's just the system and the coaching. And
I'd say it's a little bit.
They've done a lot of great things and set that up. But for, fantasy players, I don't think you can put it all on one guy like Juwan Jennings. I don't know if you start him next week. I think he has to prove himself.
Yeah, and the problem is they're 1-2 now. They just lost to a very beat-up Rams team. So, 49ers, they are definitely not in a good situation
I would say if you want to be brave, drop Brandon Ayuk off your team.
I won't say that.
I would trade
He's
him.
worth a bench spot.
I don't know, but
If
that's
you're
why I said if you want to be
rid of
brave, drop him. But if not, keep him on the bench.
If you're looking to
Right.
get rid of him, I'd just trade him, honestly. See what you can get for him. Just kind of throw him around.
I don't know. Unless you want to fleece somebody, but I mean,
Exactly, you can do that.
You can fleece somebody.
About to get Brees Hall for Ayuk, just straight up. Well, Tigers, that's all we have for the fantasy football segment. Now over to college football.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety in our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
What's up, Tigers? Welcome back to the Tiger Sports Report podcast. We're here to talk some college football with Kimberly and Daniel. First off, OU, they recently played their first game in the SEC, and it was not pretty. Against Tennessee, it was at home. Kimberly, we're going to start off with you. What are your thoughts on that game and just the quarterback situation that OU is going through right now?
It's okay, Kimberly.
OU fans are going through it right now.
Very much
So I was at work, but I was like, God, I had the Home Depot dad position watching the game while doing my job, and I just have no words. Like, Jackson Arnold, you need an application at Texas Roadhouse. I got you, man. Actually, I don't even want to work with you because I'd actually probably beat you up. But no, we need some serious rethinking to do with our offense, because our defense put
They were playing top 5
Jackson
yesterday.
Arnold in the red zone 2 times, and we didn't get away with anything. Zero, nada. We got away with nothing. And literally, if we didn't bring in the quarterback that we brought in,
Nathaniel Hawkins?
Michael Hawkins,
Yeah,
Oh, it was
like
Michael, my
if
bad.
we didn't bring Daniel Hawkins in,
My-
we would have stayed at 3 the entire time. We
Yeah.
would have stayed at 3 points the entire time, because that's how bad Jackson Arnold is. Like, I'm not exaggerating with you right now. I can't.
Okay.
He's not great, but
Yeah, he's not good.
he's not good, but he's
no.
decent. He's decent.
I wouldn't.
I can't even say
decent.
decent right
Yeah,
now. I
man.
can't see decent.
He's
with
worse
that
than Kyle
performance.
McCord was last season.
Like,
for
I'm-
sure.
Yeah.
Someone get this man a McDonald's application.
Okay, but I just think, I don't know, Jackson Arnold is just not it for OU, and I don't think we should move forward with him for OU. Maybe next game, give him a shot, see how he plays. But if he's doesn't even throw a touchdown or anything, I would just put in Michael Hawkins in and see how he does. He looked way better than Jackson Arnold has all season.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
I
sure
agree.
you all can agree with that. And I think he's just the next quarterback we need to move on with. Because right now, OU is not even classified as a great quarterback school right now.
No.
And which is kind of surprising for OU, because we've always been known to have Heisman level quarterbacks, and it's just we're not getting it done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we had
agree.
Baker, Kyler, and Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
3 consecutive
And then
years.
Sam
and
Bradford, we've had so many Heisman quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and the 3 of them almost had 3 straight Heismans.
Yep.
That was insane.
Imagine this defense with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
like,
they could
they
win.
would be better than 2019 LSU for
Like,
sure.
Well, with our
Texas
offensive
spot would
line.
be ours.
Yeah, but
And,
I think Tennessee they're gonna probably win out the SEC in my opinion. I think they will. I think they really got it going. I think they're not. I think they're above levels that are in the SEC here. As you see, Alabama. I mean, they're first overall right now in the SEC, and I think they can keep it that way. They just keep playing how they are and with their defense, and then just keep throwing up with the offense. But Daniel,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Well, I think Tennessee could definitely make a run for it. I think it'll come down to Bama, Georgia, Tennessee, and maybe even, not sure if I could even say Mizzou right now, but
I put Texas up there
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah, I
I mean,
forgot
like,
for
about them.
sure.
we can't.
I forgot about that.
As much as I'm a Texas hater, we can't leave them out of the conversation.
No.
I forgot they're in the SEC now, not the Big 12. But, yeah, Texas, Bama, Georgia, and Tennessee, I think, are the front runners for the SEC this year. And I think that's how it's going to play out. I think Texas and Georgia are going to go to the SEC championship.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I feel like we have to start Michael Hawkins this week. This isn't no gimme game. It's against Auburn in Jordan here. No matter how bad their team is, it's always a very tough environment going there. And Jackson Arnold, his decision making is just horrible. It's not saying Michael Hawkins is anywhere close to Caleb Williams, but it's just like a Spencer Rattler, Caleb Williams situation.
Yeah.
Arnold's been playing bad all season, then the true freshman comes in, and he just had so much confidence, and the fans were behind him, and he just looked so much better than Arnold's done all season when Arnold's played terrible teams.
And I mean,
Like, we almost lost to Houston. And
Yeah, I was there for that game, too.
yeah, and
It
I
was
mean, who
ugly.
says that Michael Hawkins isn't a Caleb Williams kind of guy?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
says? Because, I mean, we got Texas 2 weeks, I think, from now.
2 or 3, yeah.
2 or 3 weeks from now.
the schedule
We
only
need to
gets
get
worse.
it
Yeah.
figured
I think we'll get destroyed,
out.
but-
Tennessee was not the worst of it. It
Yeah.
was not the
No,
worst of it.
I think we'll get destroyed by the rest of the SEC. I think we just need. I know as an OU fan, we all want to see OU do great, but we just got to come to the realization that they're not going to do great this year.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
Michael Hawkins will save us.
Michael
maybe not.
Hawkins, please.
I hope so.
Save us.
I hope so.
And while we're talking about SEC, Missouri, they play Vanderbilt. And if Vanderbilt kicker didn't play like Kadarius Toney is as a receiver, they will probably won. Vanderbilt, out of all teams. Missouri, they almost lost to Boston College the previous week, and now Vanderbilt. Daniel, what are your thoughts about Missouri? Do you think they can still make the playoff? What do you think about them?
I think they could make it, but I'd say it's like 30, 70%, probably something like that. But I think that they really need to work out like some kind of different defense, because Diego Pavia was running all over him and he was passing it all over him, even when they even got pressure in. They need to stick with their coverage with those receivers.
Sorry, but I'm not a Mizzou believer. Sorry. I don't believe in the Mizzou. I don't believe in them. I think the voters, I think it is giving them way too much grace, way too much kindness. I mean, they've played one ranked team. Are you kidding
Boston
me? And
College,
they're,
yeah.
Boston College, and they're ranked 11.
They almost lost to Bill O'Brien.
Like, let's
You
be
know, I don't-
so for real.
I don't-
The
I don't-
SEC bias is wild.
Yeah, I don't
sometimes.
think Missouri is a playoff team this year. You can make an argument for top 25, but I don't think it's top 15.
I don't think it's
Sure,
top
not-
25, period.
I don't think it's top 20. Like,
Yeah.
I
they're
could-
probably a 4-loss team.
they don't
It's-
deserve to be ranked.
I think they're a 4 or 5 loss team, but I think they could beat maybe some big teams. But the Vanderbilt situation there was so bad. That kicker, what was the length of that kick again? Like 30 yards.
30 yards.
30-something
missed
yards.
it, tying field goal and
Missed
double
it.
overtime.
I know
He went
his.
2 for 4. He went 2 for 4 for field goals on the day.
Most Vandy thing ever to make a 57-yarder and then miss a
don't know, I just-
30-yarder and double OT.
I know that kicker is very disappointed himself. Let down his team. They easily could have gotten that. Went into second overtime maybe, and I don't know. Vanderbilt could have got that. I know that kicker is getting absolutely no ladies on campus this week. Absolutely none. But Jayden,
0 Snapchats.
Yeah, Missouri, they definitely got to lock in, but I don't see them making the playoffs.
No.
But that's all we have for you for the college football segment. Now over to the athlete segment.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
Welcome back, Tigers, to the final segment of the Tiger Sports Report podcast. We're joined alongside volleyball players Jordyn, Garner, and Grace Marshall. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
That's good, and we'll dive right into the questions. We're going to start off with, what do you believe you've improved on most this season compared to last season?
I've definitely improved on my attitude. I think I just put, a lot of pressure on myself last year, and I've just, stopped that, and, it just makes my game better.
I feel like I've improved on being, a more encouraging, more, involved leader on the team. Last year, I kind of took a step back, and I let my other teammates do what they need to do. But I feel like this year, as a senior, it's really important for me to step up and be a leader, and I feel like I've improved.
that's good. How do your teammates help encourage you and improve your game? We'll start off with Grace this time.
My teammates lift me up a lot. They're very encouraging. If I'm down, they're picking me back up, and if I'm up, they're helping me stay there.
I don't know. I mean, we just, we take things seriously, but we don't. We just always have fun with everything that we do. In practice, games, we just always making jokes, and I think it just, gets people out of their heads, whenever they're not doing good.
Yeah.
Okay, and what has been your biggest challenge so far this season?
Well, I've got hurt a lot this season, so I haven't been playing that much. And just, helping my teammates out. We have a freshman on varsity this year, and she's having to step up and play. And I've just had to, be, a leader for her and, help her and just make her feel like she's doing good.
Yeah, that's definitely probably one of our biggest challenges is that Jordyn's been out, recently for some fairly big games. But our freshman, Maddie, that stepped up, she's doing a great job. But definitely Jordyn being out is our biggest challenge so far.
Okay, and Jordyn, now how have the seniors helped you, and what are you going to miss most about them when they graduate?
I'm just going to miss them. I'm best friends with all the seniors, since, day one on the team. They've been my best friends, and they've just, always been there for me. So, I mean, just going to, miss them in general.
We're going to miss you too, Joe.
And Grace, what has been your favorite memory of Broken Arrow volleyball so far?
There's so many that I could choose from, but I would have to say the Branson camp, every year, is one of my favorite memories, just being able to go and hang out with the team. We get a house, we all get to hang out, and it's just a really good team bonding experience.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing, but if not that, maybe, home games, just, getting ready together. Those are always fun.
Thank you guys for joining us. Had a great time having you on. We'll see you next time, Tigers.